Agit Kabayel, Chisora.
Chisora has been in with the great and the good company of contemporary heavyweight boxing. He has lost to a number of world champions, including Vladimir Klitschko, Tyson Fury, and David Haye. And while occasionally his technical ability has been brought into question, as well as some of his behavior in and out of the ring, one thing punters will not be is deprived of entertainment courtesy of the Brixton Bomber. He has been made a favorite to remove the European belt from around the waist of Kabayel, the 25-year-old German. He is Chisora's junior by some 8 years and is certainly lacking in battle scars compared to his more experienced foe, but he has very rarely boxed outside of his native Germany and has never been in the ring with anyone we'd consider even mediocre before.
Kabayel just happy to sit there and sort of move away from Chisora.
Full European belt. Good uppercut from Chisora. Best punch coach Chisora standing with him, looking for the uppercut again. Action hotting up a little. Body shots. Good right hand from Chisora.
It's actually, we'll see how they wear on and how they slow down as the rounds.
For something, he could be ferocious, and he was really good against Dylan.
From everywhere, something we're seeing. David Haye.
Another knock.
It's hard to separate them.
Just misses with a big couple of hooks there in the Chisora corner. Certainly better. The Casino de Monte Carlo. Under Eddie Hearn, having been with the Saulens.
And he shows that at press conference. A bit more substance behind that double jab and work away when he gets there.
Where's the jab from Chisora? Doesn't jab stop the speed, slow him down?
Away when he's in range, but Kabayel showing good movement here, especially. I'm hoping that he turns up tonight, and as these rounds go on, he starts to fancy it a bit.
Remember the night when he fought Kubrat Pula? Chisora bring all that experience over the years.
This is though he's heavy, and it's hard to keep the double jab going forward and trying to throw them big hooks. He's getting picked off with a few to whatever's happening in front of you, so it's just down to business.
Crossroads fight where the young man on the record sort of comes of age.
In here tonight, really puts himself in the mix, and he's got his hands full, but he looks up for it.
Agit, the crowd cheer here. There are many good fights to be made.
As the distance closes in,
that Dylan White rematch on the opposite side of the ring as well, right in that.
In this heavyweight division, just below world level. And he's working well with them hooks and them body shots.
Really nice. Monaco is with us, and a great
Monte punches as he walks forward like that uppercut him. Start to stamp his authority at heavyweight.
Looking for the big punch, Chisora. Certainly trying to sing here in this fabulous casino.
This is a pretty good performance from Kabayel.
Big man, Kabayel.
I think Chisora backing up there because he was...
You know, he's had a hard upbringing as well. Looking so well.
Jab with it. You don't jab all the way, jab, push forward.
Stop doing it.
First half, it's been a run in defeat, over 12 rounds. Was meant to share a ring at one point with Vlad.
He maybe had his best day in there behind.
Here in the build-up, he got fined. It was, you know,
and you know, he went 12 rounds.
Likes of Carlos Takam against him, maybe.
Yeah, well,
right hand from Kabayel.
As well for a heavyweight. The Dylan White fight against Kabayel.
You won that round. Just keep your hands behind.
What he needs to do, but
he's managing to just pick off Chisora like that as Chisora comes forward.
As you said, unsavoury and the gloves are off, but he was really up for this. Zimbabwe originally. Always been a solid heavyweight on the scene. Studied the tapes.
Yeah, he may have had a look at the tapes, and I think Chisora's just walking through it, thinking, you know, I'm not too...
Keeps trying, keeps coming forward, always does, Derek Chisora.
He really needs to unload 4 or 5 explosive-looking punches.
Some fury was too much for him. Second time they... And I know heavyweights can finish.
The danger, you know, if you think if you're his corner man thinking, right, I've got to get him.
Monaco. Derek Chisora trying to become a European champion, and it's pretty much everything to the champion.
Make Kabayel move and work away like he is doing.
And his jab, at least Chisora, but walks into another. And it is a gear, a little bit like a sparring session, and I think we mentioned it.
Score many rounds.
Do a good game plan. They know it'll be
Being Spartan is a decent addition to the heavyweight division, but and then puts a couple of body shots. We're not going to see what Kabayel has. Whilst
used to becoming a sparring partner for the likes of Joshua.
the heads like we saw earlier, so he's doing the right things here, Kabayel.
I just noticed Johnny Nelson talking to Carlos Takam.
No. Thanks for talking to us. Thank you.
I tell you what, everybody goes on about how nice Anthony Joshua outs himself, certainly, with that brave
Boxing within himself and boxing so nicely behind that jab and that movement, because this is a fight that really we need to see him look good against. And I think he's
performance from the champion here. Still
land a game-changing punch shot, or unfortunately I think the writing's on the wall for him. Looping right hands, try and catch him at the side or the back of the head.
And fight's performance last weekend, but he got the win, and that's all important.
Yep, this is definitely a fight in the
Kabayel, bright guy, knows his stuff. Fraction here in Monaco. Deontay Wilder, Alexander Povetkin, Joseph Parker. This hasn't been any sort of dramatic heavy.
With his cornerman will be telling him he's having a success and he's winning this.
Last few minutes and just give it absolutely everything.
But Kabayel seems to be just kind of cruising and maybe
Kabayel 13 later on tonight. Deontay Luis Ortiz has been shamed obviously in recent weeks. Tyson Fury still not here. How seriously will Derek Chisora be taken?
He's going to try and make some kind of impact at world level.
Chisora, we've seen dramatic final rounds.
Bell fight's really interesting, but I wouldn't turn down the
Dylan White, Andy Ruiz, Jared Miller. I mean, you put going the distance and seeing, you know, maybe where
division. And I don't know if anybody will be calling for Derek Chisora very much, because that one was very close, and I really did enjoy that. And of course, Snowden is behind on the card, so he's going to have to try. But I doubt they can be given the round to Chisora, because there's a big lump of a heavyweight and he can fight when he wants to.
That was what we saw that night in Manchester. Slips on the sweat of the canvas. Chisora, but Kabayel wants to match him. Punches have others. Sorry to Kabayel, but lefts and rights. And Kabayel said, come on there.
Enough to win the rounds. I mean, that's in my humble opinion. But he's having a good go.
Chisora. I wonder if he'd upped the tempo a few rounds ago. This is more like and still he's light on his feet, and he's taken Chisora's punch. Great to see from Chisora, really going for it at the end. But it watched of toe-to-toe action. Last 45 seconds, Chisora's Kabayel. For me, Agit Kabayel, very well known to British viewers and those globally.
EBU Heavyweight Champion Agit Kabayel.